Welcome to Lightning Strikes, home of the Oak Farms League. Today we're going to review week number 22. We had a 300 game by John Bembaron. We had a 285 front 10 by Joe Lasick, and a crazy opening TV match that was out of this world.
Well, it's one of the best matches, if not the best match of the year. A team shoots 29-92 with handicap and takes 6 points. Now, especially these two teams, they're not bad teams. But no one figured this. I don't believe they figured it, and I don't believe anybody else figured it. But when you look at the scores, 30-88, 29-92. The 29-92 leads the league other than the 30-88 and takes 6 points. And it was a dogfight, frame after frame after frame. And no team was really out of it at any time. It could have switched by one open in the 10th, or another man doubled and another man opened. Anything could have happened. And I was just very proud to call this match of 8 determined bowlers who were thrilled to bowl that well on camera, and I'm so happy that happened.
Absolutely. Here it is, team number 17, OMWB. They got 6 points. They dropped to 11th, and they bowled against Taps, who won 18, who moved up to 14th. Roy Paris bowled fantastic, 7-17, each at 8-1 with handicap, against Danny Hyam, who bowled 7-16, 8-18 with handicap, and Danny won that match 3-1. Dick Hogan bowled fantastic. He shot 135 this first game, but then shot 249, 215 for 599, 785 versus Mike Varda, who also bowled well, 638, 743. Brian Copeland shot 659, 761, and got swept by Ricardo Reina, who bowled 237, 234, 279, 750 scratch, with 825 with handicap. And then Matt Hodgman got swept by the great Bobby Taylor, who bowled 642, 696 handicap against Matt's 591, 645. Insane. Totally insane.
Yeah, it was great. It was just fun calling it. I had a lot of guests. Sometimes I got a little sidetracked when I had Ralph Solon in. Obviously, when you get a very prestigious ball rep from a major company, we've got to get him in the booth. But I was watching the match and talking to Ralph at the same time, and I'm thinking, oh my God, this is the best match we've ever had. And the reason is, these are two teams that nobody picks, but yet they put on a show. 29-92, losing by 96 pins and taking 6 points. Amazing.
How about should 801 only get 1 point?
Yeah, it was amazing. Ricardo Reina really throws the ball well. He's a very underrated bowler. If this young man really took the game serious, and I don't think he does, I think it's recreation for him.
He has fun.
Somebody work with him, teach him a few little tricks, build up his arsenal a little bit. He's got a great release, great swing. He's young and he's good. And of course, Bobby Taylor, the veteran, 642, and Danny Hyam bowling for his dad, really. Yeah. And I could tell, he just wanted to do this for his father. And 248, 268 with raps. The last two could have been 570. I mean, could 270, 300. He bowled great. Unbelievable.
Crazy.
Just nice to see local players with that kind of desire, and that's what it takes in the best league in Southwest Florida. You got to have a team all pumping at the same time, wanting to win. And these four gentlemen on each team were pumping and wanting to win.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Even after the match, they're all hanging around, talking, laughing, shaking hands.
It was great.
It was awesome.
I just can't believe it. 29-92 wins 6.
I can't believe Roy Pierce, who 7-17, 801, only got 1 point.
Roy Parrish is great. He is so underrated. And when he gets locked in, he had a couple opens, maybe 2 open frames. He hit the pocket 28 times. I mean, bowled great.
That's crazy.
Oh, yeah. Solid 8s, solid 9s. Could have been 760.
Wow.
A lot of wood.
All right, our next match is going to be the team number 19, Stupid Corner. They won 17. They moved up to 12th, and they bowled against Aches and Pains, who won 7, who's still in 24th. Richard Whiteletter caught fire game 2 and 3, shooting games at 233 and 255, 656 scratch and 749 with handicap. He went 3-1 over Robert Seeley. Matt Pfeiffer split with Craig Streisel 2-2, and the Whiteletters continue to bowl well. Scott shooting 246, 191, 256 for 693, 783 over Joe Smith. And Mike Boyd continued to bowl great, shooting 708 to beat Mike Smith 3-1. And Mike Boyd's averaging 223. Seems to be bowling well every single week now. Every week, Mike Boyd.
Well, 29-33, there it is. Your team shoots 29-92, next one wins 6. 29-93 is supposed to get you 17 in this league. And they finally had a good week. And they're in 12th, and they are a good team. They were buried in the cellar most of the first half.
They
So
finished
they're
last
coming
place.
back. That second segment of 18 weeks pumps everybody up. You get a whole new outlook.
Whole new beginning.
Whole new beginning.
Like my life.
And the aches and pains just not clicking. They're all good bowlers. You look at their averages, they're decent, but the team can't win. And a lot of times that happens. That usually means the team's going to break up. I don't recommend it, but I can almost feel it. Anytime you go the whole year and you get beat that bad, where you're 20, 21st, 22nd, 23, 24, you usually look at it and say, you know what, we're going to, maybe two of us will stay together and get two different bowlers. Maybe one guy says, you know what, I want to switch. And all of a sudden, new chemistry next year, and they start again.
Yeah. Also, Danny Wilson bowls for Stupid Corner. He had a heart attack over at Gator last week. He's recovering, so we want him to get well.
Yeah, we want him to get well. We found out about it during the league, and I hope he's doing all right, Danny. We're with you, Hoss. Come on back and be with us. Our prayers are with you and your family, and we want to let you know we're with you. We're thinking about you, and we want you back.
Yeah, our team's bowling good. They're up there, and they're not in last place anymore.
Yeah.
So it's good.
That's good for them.
Absolutely. All right, our next match is going to be the Goats, team number 21. They took 20 over Herb Klein's Rolling Thunder, who only got 4. They dropped down to 21st. And it's good to see the Goats back up in the 4th. Herb Klein was the only shining spot for the Rolling Thunder, shooting 586, 733 to go 3-1 over Ice Martinez. House Brown was explosive, bowling games of 215, 267, 255, shooting his highest series of the year, 737, sweeping Ron Rossner. And Jay Rucker had a strong night, bowling games of 256, 234, 204 for 694, 736 to win his match over John Totten, 3-1. And PBA champ Dave Covington bowled solid 670 to sweep Eugene Jakoski, a new player on their team, and it's a tough night for those guys.
I like the Goats, and I like Dave Covington anchor. It takes, not that Jay Rucker can't bowl with pressure, but now he's in 3rd. He's got a horse behind him,
Big
so
horse.
everything doesn't rely on Jay. And in front of Jay got House, and House leads the team. This team is a good team. I expect them to make the top 8. There's no doubt about it, and I expect them to be in the hunt the next several weeks in this 18-week segment. They're all real good. You look at the averages, 211, 204, 220, 228. They can bowl against anyone and beat them. They got some handicap. Great team, 20 points. And Jay's pump got his swing close to his ankle. And when Jay starts striking, Jay can bowl great, and he's still great at 57 years of age.
Yeah, I bowled with them on Game 5 of this round for the seniors this Saturday, and
he's tough.
He's tough. Yeah,
Oh,
he's got
he's
a big
tough.
Game 4 to
He's
jump
been a
into.
great bowler in Southwest Florida for well over 30 years.
Proprietor champion.
Played baseball with Mike Greenwell. I mean, he's an athlete. Jay Rucker is a pure athlete.
Absolutely, I believe it. I believe it.
Great to see.
Like Jay. Jay's good people. All right, our next match is going to be Brightview Financial, who only won 8 and they're dropping to 18th, and Beach Bowl, team number 15th, won 16, and they're still in 1st place. Big game, James took his match 3-1 over Scott Chakosky, shooting 648, 702. Joe Gatewood had another solid week, sweeping Tyler Plord, shooting 665, 737 handicap. And Jerry Mikulanic put it on John Pfister, who's been struggling lately, especially this half. Jerry Bowl gains of 267, 243, 213 for a big 723. And Bobby Hamilton returned a favor by sweeping Mark Sr., who's been struggling with health problems lately. Bobby Bowl games of 217, 236, 247 for 700 series. Bobby Hamilton.
Brightview Financial, I can't believe they went to 18th after leading that first segment, but it just goes to show you, a little chemistry, a little slump, all of a sudden everybody's second guessing. And John Pfister right now is dropping fast. There's probably 7-8 guys ahead of him in average. He was leading the league at one time.
235.
So all of a sudden he's not striking. It's got to be equipment. His balls are not hitting. Bobby Hamilton's still bowling very well. But Beach Bowl's bowled well all year.
They have.
Solid team with Gatewood Mikulanic Sr. and James Oswalt. And a very good team, all solid bowlers, all veterans. Mark not feeling well lately. He's had some back problems and foot problems, but he's still trying every ball. And, he's a horse. He can shoot 750 next week. He had 300 in the league. Right now, just struggling, health-wise. And, when your body isn't right, we all know this in sports. You're not going to be sharp. You're going to favor it a little bit. Baseball, football, basketball, I don't care what it is. If you're not feeling well, you're not up to par.
Yeah, Mark hit you 299 and 300 this year. I'd like to see him get back on track.
Yes, he did.
Absolutely. All right, our next match is going to be It's going to be the Franken Beans versus Team Lightning Strikes. No, my bad. I got the wrong sheet right here. Okay, yeah. Build 1, who's in second place, won 14, against team number 2, Franken Beans, who won 10, who dropped to 22nd. Adam Chiroba, I can never say his name right, took his match against MVP Mike Durkin with a 643-703 over Durkin, 634-685. Blake Barnard struggled game 1, but put together games of 244 and 245, shooting 662, 743 to take his match versus Brad Zielinski, 3-1. Joe Gordado took game 1, 244 to 242 over Reggie Kahn, who bowled huge last week. Reggie was able to bowl solid games 2 and 3, taking that match 3-1. And Davion was able to win games 1 and 3 in total over Chucky, winning that match 3-1.
Well, Tribota, Barnard, Gordado, and Swiney have bowled together for 15 years in leagues in Cape Coral here and state tournaments, etc., city tournaments. They bowl together all the time. They know each other's mannerisms. They know how to pump each other up. Very good team. I expect them to be in the hunt in this next 18-week segment. I do expect them to make the top 8. And Franken Beans, obviously a very good team. Look at the averages, 11, 13, 13, 15 with Durkin, Zielinski, Kahn, and Rucker. Little off recently. 22nd place, I'd have never figured that. Again, you get fooled when you see a team that's real good and they're in 22nd in the second segment.
Couple bad weeks.
Evidently, they're just getting bombed. Everybody got a target on their back.
That's it. They want Franken Beans.
They want Franken Beans.
Absolutely. All right, our next match is going to be team number 12, Lightning Strikes. They won 15. They're in third place against team number 4, EBA Pro Shop, only won 9, who's in 19th place. Jared Eisenberg bowled solid as usual, sweeping the boss 4-0. George Simba had a battle with the pin crusher Scott McDonald. Scott won game 1, which was enough to take total by 3 pins, 686 to 683. Scott Cobb bowled extremely well, shooting games of 247, 249, 236 for 732 to sweep Clark Holman, who really had no chance against Cobb Salad. And John McCalskey started off huge with 269, but Chris Rich cooled him down, winning games 2, 3, and taking total 3-1.
Well, we saw this before. Now, keep in mind, in week 27, we have a position round. In week 9, we had one.
We did.
And the Lightning Strikes team was bowling great, and all of a sudden...
Bright View came in and put a whooping on them.
So, and they went down all the way into the 20s, and now they're in third again. Now, they might have learned something. They know that last time this happened to them when they were in the top 4 or 5, and all of a sudden they got bombed. So I'm sure mentally they're thinking about that, but they're in third again, so it shows they can win. Yep. We'll just see how long that happens.
Yeah, Chris Rich and big Jared Eisenberg, those guys are solid all year.
Oh yeah, Jared's tough. Big man out of Long Island.
Yep, absolutely. And I like the way Chris Rich is throwing the ball lately.
Chris Rich is really
throwing it really well.
I like Chris Rich, averaging 220, throwing the ball well.
All right, our next match is going to be team number 14, Fig Jam Alert. They won 12. They're in 13th, and they split with Loot, who won 12, or in 15th place. Joe Lasick managed to go 3-1 versus a 6-time PBA champ. Joe even had the front 10 in game 2 for a 285 game. Mike Alshire won game 1 over Justin Aldridge, which proved to be enough to take total by one pin, 704, 703 for a split. Their match 2-2. Lee Ratchin struggled in his match versus Darren Lamar, who took the 3 games to 1, bowling solid 616, 724 series. And David Stouffer easily swept his match 4-0 over Merle Billy, who struggled. David bowled 687, 693 with handicap.
Well, Fig Jam's got a 902 team average. They're in 13th place. It was the same thing in the first half. They got as high as 7th or 8th, and they were between 7th and 14th the whole first 18-week segment. It's the same thing again. They bowled well, 26-55, but it's not enough when you're getting 31 pins a game. And I've said all year long, the 90% of 235 is the equalizer, and there it is right there. And can you imagine if Merle Billy just bowled 600 instead of 500, he might have taken a couple of points, but Fig Jam's in a lot of trouble. I don't know if they can make 8th in the league right now. I've not seen that run, that 5-6 week run, where I figure they need 2,700 scratch bare minimum every week. They can't do it for whatever reason. They have bad weeks. Maybe 2,750, maybe 2,800 for a month. I mean, they got to average 233 for a month in order to put a move on them, don't you think, Tom?
I do. They finished
Yeah,
eighth the first half.
And they're capable of it, but they haven't done it. Now, you got to remember, with Ricky leading off, you got 3 great righties behind him that can line up after one another, and they're not doing it. You know, you see Ratchin with 618, surrounded by 677 and 687, so there's a problem. Well, hopefully they'll figure it out.
Yeah, those
Maybe
guys,
we need to keep the cameras on them to let them know we're watching. What do you think?
I'm trying to get the Fig Jam cam on them all the time.
Yeah, the Fig Jam. I don't want to say what that means.
I know.
I get in trouble, they'll take me off the air.
That's right. FCC will fine us. All right, the match number 8 is team number 16, Rob Smelly Beard. Watch that thing. They got 16. They're in 7th place. They're bowling great. They bowled team number 8, Diamond Security, only won 8, and they're in 10th place. Josh Brown took a 3-1 victory over Matt Rizzo's blind 722 with handicap. JJ Feather won a close game 2, 250 versus Dustin Clark's 249 with handicap. These two split the match 2-2. Dustin bowled solid 652, 721 with handicap. Mark Jr. won game 1 and 3, which is enough to take total from Rob, the self-proclaimed giant killer. 677 and 729 versus 614, 685. And John Bembaron easily swept Schumacher, even throwing a 300 game in game 3, which was watched around the world. You gotta take that?
No.
No.
I'm turning the phone off.
Yeah, that Carmen Salvino?
That's Carmen Salvino.
Yeah. Sorry, you gotta ring again.
Anyways, great match, but the whole night was John Bembaron, one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life.
He's awesome, yep.
Pumped up, got a new ball drill, went from the pink hammer to a phase 3, and
yeah?
it was all over. The minute he walked in the door, just leaning on it in that second game 300. And the Baron is the reason the team had 2909, which is a monster. And when you look at his scores, he helped them win each game, the last 2, and obviously total. And if he shoots a 657, you know, anything changes. It's the other way around. He carried the team. Great player, bowling well after a 5-year absence, and fun to watch.
I'm glad he's around here now.
I mean, he leans on it.
He does.
I mean, every ounce of energy is at the release point. They're all the same. Interesting about Bembaron, he falls off a little, but every shot is the same. I've said it for years. I'll say it. It's not how, it's how many.
It's how many.
My son Michael, extremely unorthodox, but every shot is the same.
Who's the Final Four yesterday, Neva?
Final Four, Neva again. Last 6 months, made the top 16, top 8, a dozen times. I think there's one tournament he hasn't cashed in 6 months. Every single tournament he's bowled in for 6 months, he's been in the top 16 or in the Neva or top 8, and got to 2 title matches, went 1-2.
He's so amazing.
So, oh yeah, he's amazing. He won a tournament up in Vermont, and he won one in New York. He's won 3 times in the last 3 months. He wins 5-6 tournaments a year. Again, probably the most unorthodox game in the world, but when you watched him win for 35 years, no different than Bembaron. Bembaron knows how to win. Right now he's very mature. He's taking the game as a hobby, and a good hobby. He's devoted to the game. He comes down here for the action. Great to watch. And I'm happy for Rob Smelly Beard. They had a great night. They're in 7th place.
They are.
They do have a shot at the top 8.
I hope so.
You know, if they bowl well, they got a little way to climb, but it starts now.
Got to put work in.
Oh yeah.
Nothing's easy.
They got a chance to make it.
I remember the first time I saw Mike bowl we're bowling the Hot Shot Challenge. Remember that TV show back then?
Out of Springfield.
Yeah, I bowled
out
that.
Out of Riverdale Lanes.
Yep.
He had 285 with a 50-year-old rubber ball in 1985. This ball was taken off a rack of a bowling center that burned down in Brooklyn in the late 40s. Was a house ball around New York City for 30 years. He saw it one day, called me up on the phone. I said, grab it. It was called an Ampere. It was a hard rubber rock, about 95 hardness. When you drilled into it, the bits smoked. That's how hard the rubber was. It'll knock you out. That smoke would kill you.
He was 2 pairs over from me, and he was throwing the ball in practice. Like this kid got no chance. What's he doing?
Yeah,
he ended up winning.
He's amazing.
That's all for
But that's why I say that, because you watch Belmonte. He's a prime example. You know, when people first saw him, they didn't know what to expect. You watch this young boy Simonson, very unorthodox. But boy, can he play. He can go straight, he can hook it, he can do anything. Yes, he's throwing urethane, pipe in 7. You'll see him standing 38, lofting the ball out over the 6th arrow. He can play anywhere on the lane, unorthodox, but right here, it's this, in the noggin. Great minds, great attitude, and that's how you win.
How about his backup lefty, 2-handed release that Simonson throws?
Oh, he's unbelievable.
He can do everything.
He won a PBA with a backup ball.
Yep.
He's the only bowler in the world that can win throwing it right or left-handed with the hook.
Did he beat a lefty throwing it?
He can beat a lefty.
Did he beat a lefty for that?
He can get off the gutter and hook the gutter on the left or the right.
insane.
How's that for a gift at 22? Where's his future going? I mean, it's amazing. But then again, it's not how, it's how many.
All right. Our next match is team number 18, Audio Fort Myers, won 7. They're in 16th. They bowled team number one, Naples Fire Protection, who won 17, is in 5th. You know, Gary Seitz struggled when it got swept by Rod and Rickner, 680 to 629. Barry Seitz and Dennis Beagle split their match 2-2, with Barry shooting 688 with handicap against Dennis Beagle's 672. And Andy Cox bowled fantastic, 246, 247, 225 for 718 scratch series, sweeping John. And Dave Forbes took 3 against Billy Morgan's only win, and Billy struggled with the 600 series.
Well, Andy Cox's average in the last 10 weeks, I'll put it up against anybody in the league. Right now, he went from nothing, averaging about 195 to averaging about 230. Switched some equipment, made some changes, and all of a sudden he's right there. Excellent bowling. Again, Billy Morgan struggling. You know, they're a good team. They're in 5th place in the second half,
surprisingly,
which is the highest they've been in the league since I think the very early part of the league.
Exactly.
Maybe. But they've got a long way to go, but that's how you start. Take 17 points about 5 weeks in a row. We'll see where you are then.
Yeah, Beagle, I haven't heard much from Beagle either lately. You know, he's like 226 still.
Yeah, it's tough.
Poor kid.
He'll come on in the end. He's a veteran. You know, you give him a little sniff and maybe get a couple new balls, you know, going in the last 9 weeks. And I think his equipment has a lot to do with it. You know, a lot of times when you start off very well and then all of a sudden you keep dropping down, it's ball reaction. And right now he's probably fighting it a little bit. You know, lanes are a little tighter. It's winter time. Isn't getting the ball coming off the spot as hard. Needs a dull cover. Needs a new ball. Asymmetrical core, strong layout.
Asymmetrical.
Yeah, let it flip on the back and let it rip. One of these new Brunswick monsters. One of these new Storm monsters. Of course, between Brunswick and Storm, they have 10 brands. Brunswick's got 7. Storm's got 3 with 900 Global, which is really looking good. Boy, amazing.
Yeah, they are looking good.
10 brands, 2 ball companies.
They had Rash on the show last night.
Yep.
All right. The next match is going to be match number 10 is team number 20, Killer Tomatoes. They won 10. They're 9th place against team number 3, Autism Awareness, who's in 14th, and they're way in 20th. Don Schwartz Sr. bowled well, 606, 768, going 3-1 over Bob Apolloni. Donnie Schwartz Jr. also bowled well, 248, 227, 218 for 693, 789 series. And Larry Littman took it from Billy Seymour, who really struggled, 660 to 633 for Billy. Billy shot 591 scratch. And Fred Ingalls, Freddie Ice, bowled gains of 179, 256, 249, 684, beat up on Daniel Gusero, who only bowled 629, 680, which is very, very, very surprising.
Yeah, I'm surprised at this team. I've said they're a great team all year, but again, they're lost. You know, it's amazing when you see the skill level here. Again, Gusero, Seymour, and Donnie Schwartz are very good bowlers. Donnie Sr., 175, they've got a handicapped player there. But the 3 behind him should carry him, and they're not. And right now, Daniel's probably got his lowest average in the league in probably many years. He can't figure the shot out. He's in, he's out. Billy Seymour struggling, 591, and loses to some blinds. Lost to 182 blinds for Larry Littman. Larry Littman was in an accident. When you lose to the blind, you know you're bowling bad. I mean, that's a bad night.
It's just tough to see.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. You know, it's amazing when you see talented teams that can't click. I find it amazing when I look at it because I know how good they are. Billy Seymour can go to Las Vegas and bowl the tat and bowl well. And look at those scores, 153, 201 against a 182 blind. He cannot win. Amazing.
It is amazing.
Yeah, hard to figure.
I mean, when Donnie Schwartz and Donnie Sr. and Jr., when they bowl well, the other two don't click. It seems like they don't match up at the right times.
I know. I find it mind-boggling when I see it.
Me too. I watch it every week.
It's like Fig Jam. I find it mind-boggling. You know, they're so good, yet they're in the middle of the pack every segment.
All right. Next match is match number 11, which is going to be team number 22, Tick Transport, only won 9 points, and they're in 6th place against team number 5, Hockey Baby, 115. They're in 8th place. Anthony Evanchek bowled well, 6-13, 7-18, 10 pins over John Bercier for total. Preston Willis bowled games of 225, 226, hit the transition, and shot 160, where Chris Hubeck shot 230, 231, games 2 and 3, 685, 728 to go 2.5 points against 1.5 points. And Mark Jakansky only won a half a point, where Bob McIver bowled 199, 198, 215 for 612, 714, 3.5. And Tony Komorsek bowled 533, 635, and swept Jim Shirk. I didn't see that coming.
I got to figure Tony's driving home. Figure how the heck did that happen? And Jim Shirk's driving home, saying, "Oh my God, how could I lose 4 points to 533?" Both had to leave here in shock. They're pretty good bowlers. Amazing though. It's really, in this case, it was the luck of the draw. How 533 in the anchor position can win 4 games is beyond comprehension.
I'm sure.
But there it is. We just saw it. And again, hard to believe. Hockey Baby bowled well again. They bowl well all year.
They do.
And now Tick Transport, a little chink in the armor.
Last couple weeks.
The last few weeks, not where they were, but still in the hunt, and still in the hunt in the league for the championship.
Brightview going the wrong direction, and Tick Transport's hanging in there, even though they're not winning like they were.
Amazing to look at that, though. And Bob McIver holding his own. Yeah. Mark Jakansky giving him the opening. Preston Willis bowling very well, and then all of a sudden, 160. Again, they're a good team, and they've shown they can beat anybody in the league, and I'm sure they'll bounce back.
All right, match number 12 is team number 24, Eddie Foods. They won 17.5, and they're in 17th place. They bowled against team number 7, Big B Bowling Tournaments, and they only got 6.5. They're in 23rd place. Greg Lindsay bowled well, 654, 714. He went games of 206, 224, 224 against Sean Curtis. And Joe Ponzio, the Pons, shot games 225, 233, then 185, 643 to go 3-1 over Brendan Carlton. And Chris P against Wayne Toplin. Chris P shot 262, 204, 183 to 649, 706. And Wayne had games of 212, 199, 205. And the great Jerry Lake against Robert Hilton was a good match where the scores are kind of low, but 215, 226, 178 for 619 against the great Robert Hilton, 199 and 188, 212 for 598. Wow. Didn't see that either.
Well, Eddie Foods got an 850 team average. They're in 17th. They've never clicked all year.
No.
This is a team I thought would click. They're obviously with Jerry Lake and Chris P. and Greg Lindsay. A lot of strike power there, and Joe P. is as good a bowler as he is. But again, they're a mystery team. What I mean by that is all good averages, all good bowlers, and yet they just can't climb the ladder, and that's the name of the game.
Mostly frustrating.
It's
all those bowlers are solid bowlers, and you're looking here in 17th.
Frustrating for Toplin and Hilton. As good as they've been bowling in our weekend events, and that team's getting bombed. They're lost.
They can't put it together.
I can't believe it, really.
I know, they finished almost last the first half.
I always say when that happens, that and I don't say this to knock anybody, and most people will listen to me know I don't knock any bowlers, I don't want to. Anytime you see a team that can't win, you break it up. And 2 guys go, or 3 guys go somewhere else. The reason is you come back the next year and the same thing happens. Now you're stuck for another 36 weeks. You got to come in with another mental approach. You got bombed for 36 weeks. I don't know why you want to stay again. Do you believe that?
Oh yeah, it's a long season when you're not winning.
Yeah, it's a long season.
All right, that's all we got for this week. You got anything exciting?
Well, I had a chance to watch the Tournament Champions this weekend, and one of my boyhood idols finally retired at the age of 86, Carmen Selvino. I want to congratulate Carmen on his unbelievable career, the greatest showman that ever lived in professional bowling competition, a man that made TV shows with his bowling ball, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, O's, teens, and in 2020. Just a man that's been on TV since 1954 till this Sunday. He finally hung it up. And one of my boyhood idols, one of the finest men I've ever met, him and his wife Jenny are wonderful, beautiful people. I had a little lump in my throat watching him. He was crying a lot.
Yeah, he was.
During the week, because I think he knows he's done. And at 86, probably wants to just slow it down and stay home and stay healthy. Getting on planes and flying. At his age, he's been on enough TV shows. I think he's doing the right thing. But yesterday was an amazing telecast, and the reason is, and I'm going to give you all a statistic. In the 4 winning title games, Chris Prather, who won yesterday, has the lowest winning score in 4 weeks of 280. Then Sean Rash with 289, Kyle Troop with 290, Tommy Jones with 300. And in the 4 weeks of bowling, they've had 44 strikes and 4 one-pin leaves in 4 weeks. Unheard of in the world of bowling. And yesterday proved how great these guys are. That pair was impossible. Belmonte didn't know where to throw the ball. They were all lost.
Yep.
And Prather kept fiddling with his tilt, fiddling with his speed, fiddling with his hand position. And by the last game, he figured it out. So strike ring in 10-280, and it was $1 million game. That was $1 million 10-pin you saw yesterday for all of you to watch that show. That was a $1 million 10-pin.
Yeah, but how are you gonna feel when you're front 10 or front 11 with $1 million on line?
I don't know.
Can
I've
you pry it off
often
his
said
hand?
before I'm done on this earth, I want to see a pro bowler make $1 million in earnings in 1 year. Obviously, we're the lowest paying sport with great athletes, and yesterday proved it. These kids are fantastic, all of them. It's a great tournament. I was at 25 tournament champions. I was at 23 in a row at Riviera Lanes in Akron, where that tournament was held yesterday. I made the finals there 3 of the 4 years I bowled.
Nice.
Had a high finish of 8th in '74 when Earl Anthony won. And was in the battle for TV. Going into the last 8 games, I was in 5th place. I lost 5 out of 8 that night and ended up 8th. Typical finish for Larry. Right here, the Adam's apple was a
little choke there.
Yeah, a little chokarooski. That was my last tournament as a pro, and 5 weeks later, I started my career as player service director and ball driller of the tour. So it's fun to watch out of Riviera yesterday. What a historic house, Don Johnson's
Awesome.
299.
Yep.
Jack Biandolillo's first 300 ever on Pro Bowlers Tour there in 1967.
Really?
Yes, Jack Biandolillo bowled the first 300 ever on Pro Bowlers Tour in Riviera Lanes in 1967.
That's great.
I was bowling at Meadow Lanes that day
Remember
in
that?
the Connecticut Cancer Bowl-a-thon.
Oh.
Drove there in my Corvair from Windsor Locks, and we were watching as the tournament was going on, and watched Jack Biandolillo throw 300. I was in the Meadows.
Didn't somebody shoot 800 that day? And the first time
Paul
ever?
Moser.
Paul Moser.
A year before,
US Open
1966.
champ.
I won the bowl-a-thon in 68. One of my goals was to win the bowl-a-thon, and I did in 68. Shot about 25-40 for 12 and won it.
Nice.
One of my proudest moments as a young man.
Good.
And you managed that house later on in life. Little did we know.
And I set the house record, 845.
And little did we know that day we'd be sitting next to one another here with all of you, because I would have never figured that I would be sitting here with Tom in our studio format here, which is unbelievably beautiful. Look at this wonderful job that Tom has done here. I'm just so honored to be able to be in this position. Look at these beautiful graphics, and flip it around a little bit, Tom. Show the folks here what we got.
Oh, they really can't
Just
see
show
that.
them a little bit.
What are you going to see?
Watch,
They
move
see
the
that.
camera in on me. Check
It
this
is.
out.
That is on
Now
you.
go back now. Go
back.
the other way and fade it. Show them, see
Fade
what we
it.
can do
Right
here.
there.
And
Cameraman?
show- Oh yeah, we can do anything.
We're the best cameraman in the business here.
And Tom's built all of this with software, and we're doing this for you. We want you to enjoy this recap like we do. This is fun. This is
For the league.
unbelievable to be able to do this. And this is for the world of bowling, and this is for all of us in Southwest Florida. We believe in this process. We believe this is what bowling has to do in order to put it on the map.
It is.
And we're doing so here in Fort Myers, and we will continue to do it on our Saturday telecast, our Wednesday night Oaks Farms Premier League, and Sundays when needed. I'll do this anytime Tom says, Larry, I need you. I'll be here.
Yeah. This weekend's the Handicap Open tournament. Can't wait for that.
Yeah, Handicap Open. We're predicting high scores. Last week we were a little low in our prediction. This week they'll be a lot higher, I can assure you.
Yeah, they're not going to modify the house shot again.
No, we're gonna open it up.
Modify
and
the
just let
wrong
it
way.
rip. We got tricked a little. That's part of the technology in today's sport. We're not the first people to get tricked.
Out of bounds, really hook.
It's
Crazy.
one of those things. It's not an exact science. It's an older synthetic surface. It's a machine we've only been using 6-7 months. We got a little tricked. It won't happen, hopefully again for a while, but we'll see. We're going to do everything we can to accommodate our bowlers and
it.
build the sport here in Fort Myers.
It's all about our bowlers. It's all we care about.
Yes, it is.
All right.
Customer service.
Anything else exciting?
No, that's it. I'm looking forward to Wednesday night. Looking forward to next Saturday. I won't be here a week from this Saturday. I'm going to a function up in Punta Gorda. I'm going to be with alumni from my hometown high school, Windsor Locks. High school has the Windsor Locks Day at Hurricane Charlie's in Punta Gorda on the 22nd of February. From what I understand, 70 people that went to Windsor Locks High School are going to be there that now live in Florida. You know, from as early as graduating class of 1962 to well into 2000s, people that left Connecticut and moved here have heard about it.
Very smart people.
And they're all going to be there. And there's 2 girls that are going to be there that were in my wedding in 1968. And a young man's going to be there who runs a jewelry store that I bought my wedding rings in 1968. So I'm going to hug them and reminisce about when I married my wife Ann 51 years ago. It's going to be a lot of fun, I can assure you.
Reminisce about when Connecticut was fun to live?
Well, the 60s was a
toilet.
great place to grow up in Connecticut, northern Connecticut.
No, 70s.
You know, and of course
Loved
the
it.
70s. And, you know, a lot of us left for many reasons. I left because of the weather. I kept getting sick in the winters of 97 and 98, and I had to get out of there. I had bronchitis. It would stay for 6 months, and I was nearing 50, and 6 months of not feeling good. I said, I got to leave.
Me too. I went to work at a bowling center in Alabama and then down south.
Yeah. What a
So-
job you've done here. We're lucky to have Tom.
What? I don't work here.
Well,
I just donate my time here. I got a
If you
real
don't-
job.
If you don't, I want to know why you're here all the time.
I work at Fruit Dynamics. I don't work here.
I know.
I know.
I know.
All right, so we'll see everybody on Wednesday. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, well, we're going to have this again. We'll be talking to all of you live. Might have some guests come in the booth. Can't wait to watch this Wednesday's production. I'm sure Tom will have some tricks up his sleeve for Wednesday night.
Try to figure something
we
out.
want to thank all of you for watching. Been an honor and privilege.
It has been. Thank you so much.